This is everything Anakin did when he killed the Tusken Raiders. It's safe to say that Anakin has some issues with anger management, but this statement really comes to light when we look at the Tusken Raider massacre scene. Before this slaughter would take place, we learn how Anakin's mother was captured by a group of Tusken Raiders, and sensing how his mother was in terrible pain and danger, he would waste no time to locate the camp and find her. But when he did, he wasn't greeted with the sight that he had hoped for. Instead, his mother lay beaten and on the verge of death. Not to mention sand was all around her. Holding Shmi in his arms, Anakin arrived just in time to see his mother take her final breath. After this, as we all know, Anakin would kill 2 of the Tusken guards, then the rest. However, in the movie, we never see the full scene, which has left some fans disappointed, as we do want to see Anakin give in to the dark side and, liberate the Tusken Raiders. But in the novelization of Attack of the Clones, this scene is actually played out a lot differently, and instead of cutting it off right as a massacre begins, we instead witness the entire event. So without further ado, here is our quote. He looked about, wondering as to how he would get his mother's body out of there, for he certainly wasn't going to leave it with the Tusken Raiders. He could hardly move. There seemed to be profound pointlessness to it all, a series of motions without meaning. At that time, the only meaning, the only purpose that Anakin could fathom was that of the rage building within him, an anger of losing someone he did not want to give up. Some small part of him wanted him to not give in to that anger. It warned him that such emotions were that of the dark side. Then he looked at Shmi lying there, so still, seemingly at peace, but covered with the evidence of all the pain that had been inflicted upon her body these past few days. The Jedi Padawan climbed to his feet and took up his lightsaber, then boldly strode through the front doors. The 2 Tusken guards gave a yelp and lifted up their staves, rushing him, but the blue glowing blade ignited, and in a flash of killing light, Anakin took them down, left and right. The rage, however, was not yet sated. Anakin too had heard the voice of Qui-Gon, imploring him to restrain himself, to deny the rage. He hadn't recognized it though, for he was too full of pain and anger. He spotted a Tusken woman to the side, in front of another one of the tents, carrying a pail of dirty water, and saw a Tusken child in the shadow of another in a nearby hut, staring at him with an incredulous expression. Then he was moving. Though he was hardly aware of his action, his blade flashed as he ran on. The Tusken woman screamed and was impaled. Now all of the camp seemed in motion. Tuskens rushed out of every hut, many with weapons in hand. But Anakin was into the dance of death then, into the energy of the Force. He leaped far and long, clearing one hut before coming down on another. His blade flashed even before he landed, even before the 2 Tuskens recognized that he had jumped between them. A third came at him, thrusting forward a spear, but Anakin lifted up a hand and set up a wall of Force energy as solid as a stone. Then he shoved out with that hand and the Tusken spearman flew away, fully 30 meters, smashing through the wall of yet another hut. Anakin was off and running, off and leaping, his blade spinning left and right in a blur, every stab taking a Tusken down, writhing to the ground, every slash putting a piece of a Tusken on the ground. Soon, none were standing against him, all trying to flee, but Anakin would have none of that. He saw one group rush into a hut and reached out across the way to a large boulder in the distance. It flew to his call, soaring across the sand, smashing one fleeing Tusken down and flying on. Anakin dropped it onto the hut full of Tuskens, crushing them all. And then he was running, his strides enhanced by the Force, overcoming the fleeing creatures, slaughtering them, every last one. He didn't feel empty any longer. He felt a surge of energy and strength beyond anything he had ever known. He felt full of the Force, full of power, full of life. And then it was over, suddenly it seemed. And then Anakin stood over the ruins of the camp, dozens and dozens of dead Tusken Raiders all around him, and only a single hut still standing. He put his saber away and walked back to the hut, where he gently and reverently scooped his mother's body into his arms. End quote. Now, before I go into a quick breakdown of this quote, I first want to discuss what I found most interesting about this passage, and that is the fact of how it went into much greater detail of how he killed them, showing that he fully gave in to his emotions for that moment, killing not just the men, but the women and the children too. And now for a quick breakdown. Something that should be noted is that he did hear the voice of Qui-Gon Jinn urging him to stop, to come back to the light. However, Anakin would not listen as he was so consumed with rage and the dark side. While Anakin isn't a stranger to using the dark side, it's safe to say that this was one of the first moments of him fully giving himself over to it, condemning himself deeper into Palpatine's plans. Now, it should also be stated that even though Anakin was nearly fully engulfed by the dark side, he also made sure not to harm the tent that his mother was in. And even a small part of him subconsciously did not want to give in to the dark side. Well, in any way whatsoever, as it states how every other hut was destroyed except for the one that his mother was in. And for me, this shows that Anakin truly still cared for some people even when the darkness had a hold on him, and that he was simply just trying to use it to help himself further to his goals, no matter the cost it may have inflicted. It's like how this one very mentally stable person once said, all it takes is one bad day. But anyway, that is everything that Anakin did when he attacked the Tusken Raiders and slaughtered them. I really hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, it would mean a lot to me if you could like and subscribe, as it would help the channel out a ton. Also, seamless transition here, if you've ever wondered what the 7 levels of the Sith were, I recently made a video where I covered that exact topic. So to watch that, make sure to click on screen now. But anyway, with that, my fellow Star Wars nerds, may the Force be with you.